Good morning. This is Immani Love with Blackout Magazine, and today I'm here with Sophie. Sophie, if you wouldn't mind telling everyone your name, your pronouns, your organization, and what you do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Imani. My name is Sophie Wanyenze. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a queer immigrant. I recently moved here from Uganda. I've done a lot of activism and human rights work for LGBTQI persons in Africa and on the globe. I've had a lot of conversations at the UN in regards to LGBTQI activism, sexual reproductive health and rights for lesbian, bisexual, and queer women, and then also aspects to do with mental health and psychosocial support and general feminist leadership. Currently, I'm the founder of Global Alliance for Queer Leaders. This is a 501c3 that is based in New York and is doing work with queer and BIPOC immigrants in New York. So we do a lot of still UN advocacy. We do a lot of conversations on the sidelines of the UN around women, BIPOC, immigrants, and LGBTQI persons. And then we're also doing mental health healing for healer sessions. We are intentional about this because we believe, as activists, as community organizers, as leaders, most times no one pauses to ask if we're okay. No
Right,
one pauses to ask if what healing looks like for us. So we are being intentional to create spaces where we have healing for healer session. We invite different healers and experts to come and like heal with us and help us work so that we can get back into community organizing when we are rebooted and ready to handle the social justice issues. And
right,
we are also doing work around community organizing. We realized as an immigrant, this is a lived reality for me, like what I went through and what other immigrants are going through. There is a bit of like loneliness, there's a bit of like lack of community, there is a bit of sometimes not knowing where to get resources or how to manage even a US dollar, something as simple as a US dollar, because most times
right.
our currencies are really different from the US dollar. So we've been trying to collaborate with like the queer chamber of commerce to see if they could do trainings for immigrants around how to manage like a business, how to run a business. Entrepreneurship webinars have been like we're planning one actually in the I think it will be happening in August,
Mhm.
that we could actually talk to immigrants about like how to manage a business, entrepreneurship, how to run, how to use a US dollar, how to invest, how to pay taxes. So yeah, mainly that's what we do.
Right. And this is a fairly new organization, right? You've just started
Yes.
last year, but you've had a lot of momentum. Like you've connected with a lot of organizations very early on. Can you tell us about the process and what challenges you might have faced?
Okay. So I'm grateful for the social capital I've built through the years. I've done activism for close to 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
My my mom is one of the oldest feminists I know. So she grounded me a lot in like feminist principles and practice. She grounded me a lot in social justice. So I grew up knowing I'm going to advocate and fight for minority and marginalized groups of people. So part of my work was around networking, like the work I've been doing for the 15 years. I got to meet amazing humans in this world. I got to meet people like in the spaces I went to, created that connection. So when I moved here, most of these people that I had actually reached out to and made connections with, I was like, hey, I'm now in the US here on immigration because my life was in danger back home. So I had to move here because of the LGBTQ I was doing. The law was passed in Uganda that if you're gay, you'll be killed.
Right.
Um, so I was like, I'm now in the US, but I still want to organize because it's in my blood. Like I need to organize. And so I got to like write to different organizations, introduce myself, introduce what my context is and what I want to see and what I want to do. And yeah, that's how I got in, like part of like opening up and speaking about like what I'm here to do this. I want your support. I need your guidance. Relying on power of allyship, like who do you know? Who can you refer us to? Who can we talk to? Like it has its own challenges. The challenges could be like, I don't know how to do philanthropy and fundraising so much in the US since I'm new to this. So
Right.
it has been a challenge. But then one thing that I'm good at is resilience. Like because in March I set up like 6 side events for the UN CSW 70 event. I had no money, but I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? The People's Forum is we are a member organization. They're like, okay, we'll give you a space for free. I'm like, thank you. So
Mm.
just like telling them, I'm like, I don't have money, but I need to organize. So they were like, oh, okay, we'll give you a room. We'll set up for you. Just bring the people. So my job was to just make sure that I mobilize, I organize, and get people into the rooms. And then I had friends like Identity House who were like, Identity was like, okay, we'll hope like facilitate the healing for healers session. We'll even give you a therapist to be in the room to support with like individual sessions. You can get someone that you want to come and lead the session. We'll pay for snacks. So it's just like that whole thing of community. Like I realized that the sense we have of solidarity as a movement sometimes helps a lot because I didn't even have $0 on me for the 6 events. But because we came together as community, someone was like, hey, Sophie, I'll buy for you snacks for that event. Hey, I'll do this for you for this event. I'll facilitate for you this event because it's your first time to debut this. Like, let's do that. So, yeah, that actually made it work. But like the challenges of come with a lot of funding issues, like not funny. But then I'm like, I'm hopeful. I've grown organizations before, like in Africa, and I've seen them take toll and make a lot of change. And I believe this won't be different.
Wow. That is beautiful that community comes together for you like that. That is
Yeah.
one of the key points of having a 501(c)(3), especially here, is
Mm,
having that buy-in from the community. So that is amazing that you got that so quickly.
mm.
Now, what's next for the organization? I know you have some events coming up.
Yeah. So one of my biggest challenges has been so I'm someone who doesn't like asking people to help. I think it's a black thing.
It is.
I feel like I'm bothering them. Like I'm being too much of a burden. So this like I have a good board, but they're also like really busy like activists doing amazing work in the world. And then the volunteers I have, they're like sometimes we leave. So I was like, okay, do I need one of the things I'm trying to be like, okay, I've been talking to most of my friends. I'm like, okay, should I ask for volunteers? Should I post it on LinkedIn? I'm like, hey, we need volunteers. But I'm like, I don't like asking people for help when I'm not paying them because people may need money. So they're like, no, you would be surprised on how much people would show up to actually volunteer. And,
Absolutely.
and then I go back and I'm like, I don't know, like, will they? But then I realized, like, when I was doing the organizing for the UN events, I was skeptical because when I sent out the first email, I was like, I don't think anyone will apply to co-create with us. And I got close to 100 plus. I'm like, okay. So I do one of the things moving forward is we want to put like a poster around. I'll share with you the poster. We just want to ask for volunteers, like basing on their work, like on their hours, be flexible to support because we want to see if we could now create like an official website. We want to also do a lot of like uh, capacity building for the organization and get things more organized. But then also we want to also start fundraising and like fundraising and grant making, grant writing. And we still have events coming up. Most of them are like low cost events. I've been tapping into like some of my money because yeah, most times yeah, that's how you start an organization. So we have like a webinar coming up for like LGBTQI and BIPOC entrepreneurs with the Queer Chamber of Commerce. They want to hold like a big webinar just to talk to immigrants about what is happening. And then we are also having at the high level political forum at the UN in June, we're having side events for that. I'm trying to see if I can get UNFPA because of the friendship we've had before to see if they could give us a room and we don't get to pay for it
Right.
to actually hold like two side events. So yeah, we have things coming up. We are having we also want to do we like last year during the Thanksgiving we realized we called like queer migrants around to come and join us for a meal and we saw a lot of turn up. And most people are like, okay, most times on this day I'm alone, I don't have anywhere to go. Most people have gone to
Right.
their families.
Right.
So that actually brought me a lot of sense of community. I'm like, okay, I need to do this more because people need it. So during that, we actually gave them like care kits and care packets. Like they had like pads, they had deodorants. We had like a really nice care kit. And we've been getting a lot of feedback like, hey, Sophie, do you still have care kits? That was really helpful. Do you still have this? So we are trying to see if we could collaborate with some organizations to give us some care kits and pads and menstrual hygiene issues, even sanitation hygiene issues, so we could back up. So I would need
Right.
volunteers to help with such outreaches.
Right.
Because
Wonderful.
the yeah, Johnson Community Center is willing to like give us the space to give out the things in like in Harlem. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, now I can't sit there as Sophie alone and I'm like, I'm giving out 100 or 300 plus care packets to drain me.
Right.
But as an African or a black person, most times we feed off work.
W-
So
We're resourceful, if nothing less. We will find a way to make it happen. And
yeah.
that's one of the things that helps organizations like yours thrive
Mm.
is you have that drive. So that's kudos to you for that.
I
Now,
just don't like I just don't like that we've normalized working so hard to prove a point. I don't like
mm,
that. But we have normalized it as black and brown people. Because of course I know it comes from what it stems from this the stereotyping and the environment we grew up in. So yeah, which is also a systems issue. So I don't want that's a whole thing.
that's a whole nother interview. We could talk about that for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Um, so right now, your main need is volunteers. And you don't have a website yet. So how do people reach out once they see this if they want to help?
So we are coming up with a we have a very active LinkedIn page, a very active LinkedIn page, and a very active Instagram and Facebook page. So what we do is we are going to come up with a very detailed poster. We'll put there like a QR code. We'll put there a link, and then we shall write a mini short text around it. So we even attach the link. Someone can just click on the link. So when they apply, it just comes straight to the email. We get or to the document or to the Google Sheet, and we get to know who is, and then we reach out to them, and then set up meetings and see if we could have like maybe check-ins or have like a mini conversation. Because I don't like interviews, like conversation to see what do you what why are you coming here, why like then we can actually sing our song to them, like our global alliance for queer leaders song, and we see if it speaks to you. Do you want to add a line to this song? Do you want to
I love that.
so we want that's what we want to see, but we like the poster will be detailed. People can actually just click on it, and then we can share with partners like you to share with the different groups, and then they can also just apply, and then we shall reach out to them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that add a line to the song. That was beautiful. Um, so where do you see the organization in the coming years?
So in the coming years, I see this organization holding global conversations in different spaces. Like if we are having women lead in Australia, I would want to see people in Australia from Global Alliance for Queer Leaders being there and talking about issues concerning New Yorkers, because I've realized, or even like LGBTQI persons all over the world, because I've realized as New York, we are closed in a bit. We have our own circle. Most times, no one gets to know the struggles we face as New Yorkers. It would be nice to actually get out of that bubble and speak more about New York, because most times there's this picture of like it's perfect. It's not. We have a lot of struggles. We are going through a lot of things. Or even the US has a broad spectrum. And then also it would I also view it like I would want to have like real UN inside the UN events, like having like a delegation where the UN Secretary General comes into the room, and then I bring in activists from all over the world, and then we come like even activists from like the US to actually sit and talk to the UN General like Secretary to be like, these are our issues, listen to them, let's see how we can proceed. We also want to do a lot of like work around policy and advocacy influencing, because most of the conversations we've been having around like healing for healers, around we also have a session around theater for advocacy. All those we want to see if we can come up with paper like documents, so policy briefs and position papers, compile them and then give them to the like more powerful or more bigger partners, government partners, to be like, hey, front this out for us, what is actually handled or is put into like law or policy. And we also want to see if we could actually get in touch with more leaders, like political leaders in New York, and also get more engaged with Albany to see if we can push for policy and some laws that actually will be very accommodating and very fair to queer and BIPOC immigrants.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you'd like to share with our readers?
Let me see. I just want the readers to know that this space is it's a space for black, brown, like black, brown, queer humans. Like as long as you're human and you need a space to just grow and feed in, this is a space for you. I've created such spaces before in Africa and they're thriving because I'm someone who opens doors to everyone. Like I will listen to people and I will grow something with people because I believe at the end of the day, if you're growing an organization with a soul, you can step away from it and it will still be sustainable because I grew it with the community that I was intentionally wanting to serve. Like if I'm here to serve the New York community of BIPOC and queer immigrants, or even queer persons and BIPOC persons, I want to grow it with them. So that if tomorrow I step away from it, because this is not my thing, this is a New York NGO, it's 50123, it's not mine, it's not my investment, it's not my I just want to grow something and leave it to be sustainable to serve community. So that even when I step away as Sophie, tomorrow whoever takes on will still have a soul for the organization, will still know what we set up for the blueprint, and will still want to make sure that creates the change it needs to create. So yeah.
Admirable. Sophie, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us. Blackout Magazine is honored to have met with you, and we're happy to spread the word about the Global Queer Leaders Alliance. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too so much.